But now, after 70,000 years, the secret has finally been revealed. We finally know who built the pyramids of Egypt.
Egypt is the 7,000-year-old tomb of human history, a civilization that remains shrouded in mystery. No one has ever been able to give a definitive answer as to who built these magnificent tombs and why. Today, even when mankind has conquered modern science and reached beyond the limits of the universe, not a single construction company has been able to replicate the pyramids in this highly developed era. Cheops, or Khufu, was the name of the pharaoh who built the largest of these pyramids. Each of its massive stones weighs around 100 tons, yet they are joined together so perfectly that no gap can be found between them. The pyramid stands about 450 feet high, spreads over 13 acres, and weighs approximately 6.5 million tons. Scientists and engineers still ask, how were 2.6 million massive blocks cut, transported, and placed so precisely, in an age without explosives, dynamite, or modern machinery? How did they break the rocks, and how did they move them to the construction site? Who designed these extraordinary structures? If only 10 stones were placed every day, one pyramid would take 680 years to complete. Even if 100 stones were placed daily, it would still take around 70 years, just for a single pyramid. The red granite stones found in the king's chamber were brought from 600 miles away, near the banks of the Nile River. Experts say that the triangular shape of the pyramids focuses magnetic waves in such a way that nothing can move within their field. Perhaps that is why the pharaohs of Egypt built their tombs in pyramid or triangular forms, believing it would protect their bodies from decay. In ancient Egyptian belief, the preservation of the dead was the duty of the god Anubis, the deity of spices, oils, and fragrances. His image can be found throughout the pyramids, a figure overseeing the final preparation of the dead. When someone died, priests would wear the mask of Anubis, make the body stand upright, and perform the ritual of opening the mouth, offering food and chanting hymns before the deceased. In 2008, a 2,400-year-old mummy was scanned with CT technology, revealing a small tube inserted inside the skull, confirming the ancient practice of removing the internal organs, starting with the brain. The body would then be washed internally with spices and oils, leaving only the heart inside. After drying for 40 to 70 days, the organs were either stored in separate jars or wrapped and placed back inside the body before it was finally covered in cloth. Egypt has between 118 and 138 pyramids, all serving as the tombs of pharaohs. But a greater mystery remains: what is the connection between ancient Egypt and the Freemasons? Many believe that the symbols and powers of ancient Egypt influenced the Freemasons and the Illuminati. The ancient Egyptians were said to worship powerful deities, forces associated with death and evil. They feared these dark entities, believing they controlled the rise and fall of the moon, the floods of the Nile, and even life and death itself. Inside the pyramids, carvings of these gods bear striking resemblance to modern Illuminati symbols. Is this merely coincidence? When modern researchers fail to explain how the pyramids were built, some claim that these structures were not made by human hands, but by supernatural beings or ancient forces long forgotten. Since then, the pyramids have held a deep connection to the Illuminati and Freemasons, who also use the pyramid and the all-seeing eye as their symbols of power. The all-seeing eye atop the 13 layers of the pyramid represents the Messiah of the Illuminati, the one who oversees the entire world. In 1935, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a 33rd-degree Freemason, placed this symbol permanently on the American dollar bill. Even earlier, in 1782, it became part of the Great Seal of the United States. The 13 layers of the pyramid are said to represent the 13 founding families of the Illuminati. Members often greet one another using hand signs, covering one eye to symbolize the all-seeing eye. This gesture has become so common in popular culture that many people use it unknowingly, without understanding its deeper meaning. From Bill Clinton to Michael Jackson, Pope Francis, and Donald Trump, countless world figures have been seen making this sign. Another powerful symbol is the goat-headed statue known as Baphomet, once worshipped by the Templars in the 14th century, for which they were punished. One of Baphomet's hands is raised upward, representing duality, the balance of good and evil. When you compare this statue with ancient Egyptian deities, the resemblance is undeniable. The Illuminati have few public leaders, but their influence is vast, including politicians, bankers, scientists, military officers, and global elites. Their true battle is not political or material, it is spiritual, against the forces of light and darkness. At the center of this struggle stands Lucifer, or Satan, whom the Illuminati revere as their god. Their leaders are said to be in direct communication with him, proudly calling themselves the followers of Satan. They are leading humanity toward an age where the rule of the false Messiah, the Dajjal, will be established. And only the divine forces of Imam Mahdi and Prophet Jesus, peace be upon him, will rise to confront and defeat this darkness. The final war will not just be between nations. It will be a war between spiritual forces of light and darkness. A war of the end times.